Well, I think it was just a really nice opportunity to celebrate some of the things that we've done over the last 30 years, and in particular focus on some of the companies that we've supported. So it was a nice opportunity to create a load of case studies of some of the companies, big and small, that we've helped across the country. It was a really nice opportunity to have a great social event, a bit of a celebration. We supported some companies in developing countries through some charity work that we did at the same time. So I think it was just a nice way of reflecting on why we were started as a company, which was essentially to help interesting startup companies, and then remind ourselves and others that that's what we do. And so I think for me it was about coming back to a point where we're true to and understand what we're trying to achieve and what we do as a company. So it did, yeah. So that was really nice. So I guess the timing worked quite well, quite nice serendipity. But I mean, I've been with the company 17 years, so I've seen it evolve and grow over that period of time. And I'm immensely proud now to be managing director. Never believed I would be. So when I joined 17 years ago and opened Culham Innovation Centre, my wildest dreams I was never, wouldn't be MD. But it's just such a nice company, and I love what we do. Absolutely love what we do. Some of the companies that we've helped start, support and grow, and seeing the number of people that they now employ and the jobs that they've created and the wonderful devices that change our lives that have been created, it's just exciting. And that's the thing that makes me most proud, actually, is just seeing the companies that we've helped do so well. So we've opened our 25th centre. That's in Borden in East Hampshire. It's a regeneration project, building owned by Homes England. And we've been involved in that right from the start, really. It's an ex-MOD site, and there aren't very many jobs there. You can imagine when the military go, a lot of the infrastructure and pretty much everything disappears in an area. So that's about creating new job opportunities for people. And I guess that's a theme that runs through quite a lot of the innovation centres that we run. So some of them are in big, vibrant cities like the one here we're sitting in today in Oxford. But others are in places where traditional industries are in decline. So in North Nottinghamshire, where it's coal mining communities, in parts of the south coast, where it's a peninsula with not a lot of industry other than ports that again have been in decline. And I guess what's really nice about our innovation centres is that they're changing people's aspirations, that they're opening up people's eyes to being an entrepreneur, being in a community with other entrepreneurs around them, and that might help them thrive and grow. And so, they're in a real mix of buildings and a real mix of locations. And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in, is that it's not just a box and everyone is the same. They're all different and they all have their own local personality. We have, yeah. So we're just working on our 5-year strategic plan, and that would, if we're successful, would see us double in size over the next 5 years. We all know there's been a proliferation of flexible work locations like WeWork and Regis expanding all the time. Entrepreneurs need flexible space. We know there's more demand than ever before for what we do. We like to think we're different to those ones I've mentioned, and I think we are recognised as the leading innovation centre operator in the UK. There was a study done by Nesta that confirms that. And so, we are seeing more and more opportunities, both with private building owners, with public sector and with charities and with universities, for us to open more innovation centres across the UK. I'm really confident that we are in a growing market. We have a product that we know and a service that we know that delivers what entrepreneurs need, and we help local authorities create jobs. Really good. So we're really excited about opening another centre within the Ring Road in Oxford. There's so much demand for space for small companies in Oxford. There are very limited opportunities to have new buildings right in the city centre. The site at Stansfeld is absolutely astounding. I mean, I grew up in Headington and I had no idea there was a 15-acre nature reserve at the bottom of what is essentially Shotover Hill. I had no idea it was there. The first time I went on site, I was amazed. And thinking about the lifestyle and the environment of that as somewhere for young companies to work and grow is just lovely. Being able to go for a walk at lunchtime, being able to enjoy, the nature and the kind of surroundings, the quietness, but still be in a city and well connected. I think it's a fantastic location. We're really excited about it opening. And in fact, we're starting to talk to some companies interested in space there already, and it's not even built yet. Yeah, well, I was going to say Margaret Thatcher. So the only reason I was going to say Margaret Thatcher is, so we were talking about our Myers-Briggs personalities yesterday, and I'm the same as Margaret Thatcher. I'm an ENTJ. And so that was the first person that popped in my head. Do I think she'd make a good advisor? No, I think she was awful at times. And I remember being a child, Thatcher milk snatcher. And I remember as a student marching when she took away our student grant. So I can't possibly want her on my advisory board, except for she made really tough decisions in a really tough time. And she was a female leading a country. I'm a female leading a company. There aren't actually, I guess that's one of the things, there aren't that many female role models that I could draw and I could talk to. I could, ask advice to how do you deal with these situations. I think it's really interesting what we're seeing in the entertainment industry at the moment with women, fighting for equal pay and saying it's not okay for you to, touch us or treat us in an inappropriate way. And, women have had a tough time. One of the nicest things actually for me when I was made MD was all the emails I got from my colleagues, female colleagues in OI, saying how inspiring it was to have a female MD. That was the nicest thing that happened to me, actually, was all those little notes that people sent saying, this is great. Advisory board, though, I'd have to think of, it would have to be a female, though, wouldn't it? I'd have to...
Well, is Thatcher in or out?
Oh, I don't know. On balance, maybe she's in. I don't know. Maybe Barack Obama. I saw an interview the other night. The only reason he comes to mind is because I saw an interview with him the other night with David Letterman, so a Netflix original. He is just such a personable, enigmatic person, and the ease at which he can talk to seemingly anybody. I mean, whether that's a media persona or real, I don't know. But I saw him on Bear Grylls as well, and you just got a real sense of the man. No. And even if you don't agree with his politics, to be able to be that articulate, that funny, that unassuming, just nice guy, how does he always, I'm sure behind closed doors he isn't always that nice, he isn't always that articulate, but he just seems like a really nice guy, and he's balanced his work, his life, his family, everything really nicely, and yeah, I'm sure he'd have some things that I would benefit from hearing and learning about. Maybe a local one, Andrew Smith, ex-MP, ex-Labour MP. Him and his wife Val were, I started my career in Oxford working on Blackbird Leas, and so knew them really well at that time. I worked for a community project on Blackbird Leas, and they were so interested and really in Blackbird Leas. They lived there, that was where they lived. They didn't move out to some big posh house. They lived in Blackbird Leas. They were so active and really just caring and vocal about the challenges of Blackbird Leas, but also realistic about, what could be achieved. And I remember when I moved, after I got divorced, I moved back to Andrew's constituency, and it was the time of the election, and he was the only one of the candidates that came and knocked on my door and spoke to me and actually was interested in what I was saying. Now, I, at the time, wouldn't have been necessarily a Labour voter, but I voted for him not because of his politics, but because of the man. And because I wanted that man representing me, because I knew that he really understood the challenges of his constituency and really understood, what it was to be a good local MP. And, for that reason, I would want one or both of them. Val, sadly now, has died, but, I think they were both role models for what it is to be a good public servant.